All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I am happy to report that we have some progress on some information that I gave you. I did a video not too long ago where I said that there was going to be that they want to invest. There are people that want to invest $5 billion in an infrastructure that includes the PBC and includes boxing, professional and amateur. And there has been progress made in that regard, but absolutely huge progress as the president of the United States actually supports an initiative directly connected to that, and it hit the news. So I wanted to give you that update because it looks like Donald Trump is trying to compete with Turkey al-Sheikh and the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia by starting what is called the Sovereign Wealth Fund in the United States. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be talking about boxing and politics because, as you know, things happen downhill from politics, from the White House, from Congress. They do different type of stuff, different things, and then eventually you wind up seeing it play out in your everyday life, and you wind up ultimately being affected by it. Well, as boxing fans, I became privy to some information from some people that are some very heavy hitters that want to utilize boxing as a way to generate wealth and as a way to give back to the community and create a self-sustaining infrastructure within low-income communities. So they have a pitch that they're making with $5 billion of invested money to be used in charter schools, boxing programs, also in putting on major boxing events with professional fighters. After I spoke with them, or when I spoke with them, and I told you in the last video that it was going to be contingent upon their relationship with Donald Trump and their relationship with the incoming administration, because they're going to need access to an infrastructure that will allow that to take place. And they had actually taken what they believed, what they understood of the public information fund, a public investment fund in Saudi Arabia, and said, hey, we should be doing it for our American youth what the public investment fund is doing for Saudi Arabian youth, and using American fighters and American golfers and the like to do. Won't go into the details of that, but Donald Trump came out and stated that they are looking to start what is called a sovereign wealth fund, which is the exact same thing or very close to what the public investment fund is in Saudi Arabia, which is a multi-billion-dollar fund, and it is used by many different nations to handle what is usually a budget surplus. So if they have money left over after the government pays for everything, then they'll take that excess, put it in a public investment fund, and use that to generate economic, to give back and create, create for the economy. So that's what Trump is basically saying now. Now we need to do that as well. So, but the issue is the United States runs in a deficit. So where's the money going to come from? Well, the money's going to have to come from, they'll come up with their own public funding. But I believe what these guys are going to say is, look, you need private investment into that fund. And maybe you need to have the United States matching some of the funds that come from some of these big billionaires that goes into that fund. But the people that actually invested in that fund as well get the first shot at a lot of the contracts and can earmark where some of that money goes. So seeing as the United States of America is huge and has absolutely gigantic amounts of natural resources that are untapped, the public investment fund, if they're actually able to do that, or in the United States situation, the sovereign wealth fund, if they're allowed to get that up to several $1 trillion in an investment fund, hey, there's all kind of different things that could be done. And that $5 billion can be in there for boxing and for the program that I described. But I think that this is just an exciting thing. I'm not necessarily the biggest. I'm not the biggest supporter of Donald Trump. But one of the things that I do like about him is that he's innovative, and he's somebody that is willing to take ideas, new ideas, and try to figure out how he can put it in a scenario and do something different, right? Some of the radical ideas that he has, a lot of the radical ideas that he has, they're radical, so they sound radical, and you think, oh, that sounds ridiculous. Like some of the stuff that he said about the Middle East and, Iceland and all of that. I'm not into that. But when he says, hey, that sounds like a good idea to me. We should create a sovereign wealth fund. We'll figure out exactly how we can fund it, where the money can come from. A part of it is going to come from natural resources. That's why this guy's on drill, baby, drill and all of that. But look, man, if you got a drill, baby, drill and drill, baby, drilling winds up getting money into a fund that will then pay for the charter schools, will pay for boxing gyms, will pay for these programs that keep kids out of the street and put them on a more productive and constructive path in life. I stand behind that 100 miles an hour, man. And I certainly hope these guys are able to get this done. But they weren't the only ones that were pitching it. My understanding also is that the professional golfers are trying to get Donald Trump involved in, what is it, the L1V or LV1? I can't forget, whatever the Saudi Arabian league is that's competing with the PGA. They actually want the Donald Trump to get involved in that, right? So I think that there is real value to this. Like usually I would say it's just sports. What does it matter? But when you know what sports means as far as like the developmental level of children, especially like let's just say between the ages of 6 and 14, where like you're really trying to figure out who you are, you're trying to get a sense of yourself. Those sports programs really help citizens and help young kids get a sense of themselves and carry that sense of themselves on to later areas of life. It's really, really important. And to see the talents of the United States being used in a way that where it's the benefit really is in Saudi Arabia for Saudi Arabian kids, where you're basically transporting all the expertise of the United States and the skills, and it's getting paid for by that investment fund so they can invest in their people. Yeah, it makes sense to do it ourselves. And I'm really appreciative of the fact that Donald Trump is even considering it. Again, it takes somebody that has a bit of a, is creative. So, hey, man, hats off to him for that one. Let me say it that way. It's hats off to him for that one. I really do appreciate what he's trying to do with that fund. And I think it could really pay out for boxers very, very heavily, because the people that are dealing with specifically with the boxing, they want to get involved in the real estate related to the gyms and to the schools. So anyway, hopefully we can do what the Saudi Arabia is doing for Saudi Arabia, and we can do it in our own communities. And hopefully Donald Trump, that's something he can do, because as a black person, I think that would be given back to the black community. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.